Thanks for the tape.
Yeah.
Your music is so great. I like it very much. Haram Tapes, the name, where it come from?
We're kind of like documentarians musically. It's a heroin producer from Morocco
Oh,
who's talking. Yeah,
you'll become a political animal. That's what we want. We want to create lots of political animals.
音楽で旅をするチャンネル音旅。こんばんは、小川ウェイです。今回はアーティストインタビューをお届けします。今回インタビューするのは Haram Tapes という2人組のユニットです。スペイン在住の Sea Safari とイスタンブール在住の Smatran Black によるユニットです。彼らはこんな風にテープでアルバムをリリースしてます。これは2018年にリリースされた Haram というアルバムです。はい、すごい可愛いですよね。やっぱりテープってこんな感じです。ユニット名もそうやし、タイトルにもかなり強いメッセージが込められている感じがするので、その辺をいろいろ聞いていきたいなと思います。ハラムテープスの音楽は下のバンドキャンプのリンクからぜひ聞いてみてください。
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good,
Yeah,
good. Thank you for taking the time for the interview. I'm glad
No,
to have you.
thanks
No
for
problem.
inviting us.
And thank you for the tape.
Yeah,
Your
no,
music is so great. I like it very much.
I'm glad it
Thank
got there.
you.
I was thinking, oh, I hope it gets there.
Yeah. And first, I want to ask about Haram Tapes. This is a duo, Sea Safari and Smatran Black, right?
Yes.
Sea Safari is a rock, it means.
Yeah, that's me. I'm
Yeah.
Sea Safari.
You're a beat maker.
Yeah, I'm more into making beats and sort of lo-fi stuff. And Pete is more professional and has more bigger range of music that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm someone that is experimental, and I'm not really musical. I like to experiment and make beats.
I would say like also Rob's kind of like comes from a more sort of a fine arts background in terms of how he approaches music. So it's like things like collage and like abstract ideas. But maybe you don't know this, but Rob has been a DJ a very, very long time as well. So he has a huge, like an encyclopedic knowledge of music anyway. So he's kind of talking himself down a bit there, but he's very knowledgeable about music.
Thanks, Pete.
So, and Rob, you're from UK and you live in Spain right now?
Yeah, I've been living in Spain for about 3 years.
And we grew up in the same town. I don't know if that was clear. So we're from the
really?
same. Yeah, that's yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we're from the
so
same. We're
because,
from the same town originally.
Oh, really? So I thought Pete, you're from. I thought you're from Istanbul. So your Rob, he's in Spain and Turkey. And how did you guys meet? So
Yeah.
I was wondering.
We hadn't seen each other for a long time, and we started to notice on SoundCloud each other's music, but we didn't know who the other person was because Pete was making comments on my SoundCloud saying, oh, that's really nice, really interesting stuff. And I saw Smatran Black, Istanbul, Turkey. I was like, oh, that's nice. A guy from Turkey is interested in my music, and he's talking and he's writing like an English kind of slang, and so we started to message and message through SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then, what's your name? Where are you from? He said, oh, I'm from Bournemouth. I'm Pete Reeves. And I was like, Peter! It's like we
Wow.
were reconnected through SoundCloud. Because
Wow.
we hadn't seen each other for like 10 years maybe.
First time, when did you meet?
Oh, first time would have been probably 1998 or 99 through our mutual friend Romin Alabadi. He was a musician as well, and he had a band. Well, he had lots of bands, and we would go to his concerts and his gigs, or we would go to his house and listen to music and just hang out, really.
So Bournemouth, well, our town, Bournemouth, is kind of a small, in terms of culturally, it's kind of small. So everyone, it's small anyway, but it's not really famed for music. And so everyone who's involved in music kind of knows each other. But it basically, even now, me and Rob, we discover we have lots of people we didn't know that we both knew. We have all these mutual friends that we, I know that person, because me and Rob didn't go to the same school. We went to but I have lots of friends that went to Rob's school. Rob has lots of friends that went to my school. It's really funny. One of Rob's best friends, he was my boss, for example, for a little while. Yeah, so
yeah.
And now they know you guys making the music together.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Some of them. We've got some friends who are like supportive and go, yeah, this is really cool, and then some friends who are like, this is weird. What is this music? It's weird. I don't know what it is.
Too weird.
Too weird for me. Yeah, we've got some like
make music more like Solomon.
Mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want us to do like business techno or something.
Yeah.
So Haram Tapes, the name, where is come from? Haram Tapes.
Okay, so the word haram in Arabic, it's like it's forbidden, and so I had a friend who was Muslim, and we talked about what is haram. Is it haram? Is music haram? And he said, well, in Islam, there's different degrees of what is haram. And he said that for some people, for some hardcore, people that follow a certain text, music could be haram. But he said what is interesting in Islamic culture is that it's haram to not share, or it's haram to make money off people or interest, and it's all about people inside a Western culture in Europe who are sort of a part of two different cultures, and in Germany and in Austria and in France, in places like that, and in the UK as well, there's people that have two different lives. And it started out as a kind of spoken word experiment. So I was interviewing people who were living in Vienna, who were trying to fit in to society in Vienna, but they were part of Muslim culture, but they were kind of breaking away from that. They'd moved away from Syria, from Egypt, from Turkey, and now they were trying to make a new life. But for the older generations, they might be seen as living a haram life or something forbidden. So it's about people living in society, and it's also about international politics as well in some way, because we look at stories like the Saudi Arabian journalist who was assassinated. We were inspired a lot by Vatican Shadow and Muslim Gauze and their political kind of themes in their music. Yeah, it's a big it's a big theme. It's hard to explain.
So it contains some kind of message. I think you have the message with this name.
Yeah, each song title.
The song title is kind of, they're always inspired by some sort of real situation, generally like a geopolitical situation. In that, I always think maybe Rob, obviously we're a duo, so we have different ideas about what the project represents sometimes. But my perspective has always been that we're kind of like documentarians musically, so we'll find stories that we find interesting, and it just so happened that the first sort of couple of records, it was kind of mostly Middle East and European focused, but that doesn't mean that will always be that way. We're always looking for stories that kind of resonate with us kind of emotionally. Yeah, unfortunately our plan was to make this project kind of like an installation style project, an art project, where we could put it in various spaces eventually and work with other creators, other artists. But of course the situation at the moment, that makes it very difficult for us to do. Haram Tapes Live has not happened yet. Our background is in live live music, so not just like bands but DJing. We think like performance of music live is very, very important. We believe, and music needs to be taken out of the context of just these earbuds that I've got on. It needs to be heard in a group situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will in the future.
And ideally, like, we've kind of got a few promoters or people that we would like to work with, like a dream of who we could put on a show, and we can't really plan anything. We'd like for the room, for the live experience to be with visuals, with the whole room being used, like 3D mapping, and with the what I want the people that contributed to Haram Tapes with their voice to be part of the performance, either to be spoken word on stage or in or around. So it's kind of you enter into a Haram world.
That's a nice dream. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I saw a really interesting.
I'd love to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and
hopefully
so
one day.
You put the tapes. The name tapes. So for the beginning, you decide to release on the cassette tape, or something.
It's maybe not click, because in English, if you say something tapes, it has a kind of connotation of like, it kind of means
like a feeling.
Has a feeling of like these are. So if there's something bad where someone's been talking secretly, these are the bad tapes, or these are the Watergate tapes. Yeah. So it also has this. My English has gone terrible. Has a like a not confidentiality. There's sort of an espionage kind of CD thing as well. So it's like this is a document of something. I don't know. Should I nefarious?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cassette is a very like robust, strong product, so it can survive in kind of areas of the world that maybe like much less developed and those kind of things. So it kind of has this other, like, there's something magic about the tape cassette in a sense. That means it's, I don't want to say timeless, but it's something more, I don't know, help me out here, Rob.
I think, going on to what you said, it's a survivor. Like the cassette, there's still lots of people.
It's a film. It's maybe film for the photo, film for the cinema.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe you
It's
can
a medium.
go back to the 1920 or I don't know if someone found the tape film, so you can see or you can hear that the at that time maybe 1920, 70 or I don't know, or you can go back and then they still alive. You feel. I like the sound quality of sound of cassette tape. It's different from vinyl. It has more warm, very soft.
It's a really warm. It's a medium I love.
I also think
I don't want to tape player here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to play at someone else's house. I don't have a cassette player in my apartment. I want to buy.
My player is at my dad's.
Same.
We're kind of
my mum's house. Also, what I think, I don't want to indicate our ages too much, but the feeling we had of playing a cassette on a Walkman is such a great feeling. And I remember when you used to just have, say, like 4 or 5 cassettes or 4 or 5 CDs on a CD Walkman if you were lucky, you know, and then, I mean, maybe to move the conversation, this idea, I know lots of people now don't really, there's less people making longer albums, like EPs and short releases, but I still really, I mean, we release short things and release really long, but I really do love the experience of having an album and then playing it again and again, getting to really know the album really well, finding especially, I mean, with our music, it's really good for that because there's lots of little funny details, strange things, noises, mistakes, things that we've left in. Because we're like, with this project, we wanted to embrace also this, I really love this idea of like amateurism. So non-professional approaches to music can be really emotionally powerful. And so this idea of maybe the beat isn't lined up properly or the keyboard part I didn't play 100% perfectly. There's just other things like that's the vocal sample has a glitch in it. Just leave it in. These kind of things. The kick drum doesn't sound like it's going to destroy you. It's a bit like, you know, all of these things we really, really love. And what I think the cassette does sometimes, that's like a highlighter of those things. It magnifies the sort of imperfections in a sense, which kind of is a great thing about the medium, I think.
This one is from Italy.
It's from my friend Fab Mayday. He's a really good producer, and he has he's not making music so much nowadays because he's concentrating on being a radio DJ in Italy, but he has a label called Italo Italians, and he puts out music by his friends. And he said, guys, we can do the tape for you. We have a really good tape maker in Italy, so he arranged it all, and his friend Alessandro Pantone, I think Pantone, or well, I just know him as Panty Man. He did Panty Man. He did the artwork, like the photo on the front is from I think
this
Blue,
one.
That's from the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. So obviously it's a woman wearing a veil, and she's passing by the mosque there in Full Vale. And Istanbul is a really interesting place because you have like a lot of obviously Western elements, but you have devout Muslim population as well. But yeah, the tape was made in Italy in I think in Rome.
So I got this music is kind of documentary music. It's field recording, I think. Vienna, Marrakesh, Istanbul.
Yeah.
So it contains the field recording sounds.
Yeah.
So I thought you described the city of Istanbul. You have many city in this tape, in this album.
Yeah. So the recordings in Vienna are of my two friends, that Bada from Syria. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And Mohammed from Egypt, and so they are the Vienna recordings. And also Vienna is an interesting place because it's in the center of Europe, but lots of people from Turkey live there. Lots of people escape to Vienna to get political asylum. But also the Marrakesh recordings with street musicians and street noise that you would hear around Marrakesh, and just
House of Image. Yes.
House of Images Marrakesh. Yeah, that was made outside of a photography an institution in Marrakesh where it's a photography museum, but around there's a lot of libraries, and it's a really nice atmosphere around there. So I like making these kind of getting these street sounds. So, and I don't know if you hear it, but you hear like a moped going along this little alleyway, and it goes, and it's like,
yeah. And I
trying
can
to
imagine
make that sound
the
image.
city. I can travel a little bit.
Yeah,
I can go
the ones
Marrakesh.
in the Istanbul field recordings, for example, they're quite near. Like I did lots of different ones, but the one on like Istanbul as a broken dream, that is
that's sad song. Yeah,
that is just sad. The main sample you hear is just what's it called? The traffic light crossing. So when you want to cross the street, you know, when you press the button, it tells you can cross the street. Now that's just if you're from Istanbul, you would recognize it. It's been detuned to make it sadder, but it's just something saying you can. I think it just says you can. How is it phrased? I think it says you may cross the street now, or something. It's quite a long sentence.
That's nice.
And other things.
And then I wondered, what does he say? He maybe.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well, Pete. I think the one that I always wonder what he's saying. There's a phrase where a guy says, haram, I think he says haram is the taste of sweet, something you want or something you can't have. Am I right?
Okay, I can tell you what that is. It's a heroin producer from Morocco. Who's talking? Yeah, so he's a really, really old, very, very old guy talking about the quality of the product they have. Yeah, he's talking about that, but then he talks about I guess we could say karma. You know, you do some things and they can come back again and again. You know. Yeah.
Because there's also the theme of Haram tapes is also about migration and people migrating, but also with people migrating, there's people trapped there's people being trafficked, you know, paying a lot of money to get into Europe, but there's also the flow of contraband, illegal products, drugs. There's something.
Yeah. Also,
sorry. Yeah.
What I was going to say, Robert, well, maybe we didn't realize until we'd kind of finished it, but once with that album, every single person on the album did not record or speak in the country that they're from. So I like even the musicians. So Rob was in Vienna, I was in Istanbul. For example, on Haram lists, that's a Persian friend, La Maison Du. She's from Iran, but she was in Istanbul. Bada, he is from Syria. He's in. So this idea of like the displacement of people. And I always would talk about this album. It's interesting to me because there aren't so many kind of Middle Eastern musical samples, but people think they kind of subconsciously think there are. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's more, which I think is why I really love it. That's one of the things that I like, because we kind of, by luck or by design, it created like a sonic picture that was very evocative of this particular geographical situation without having to just put like someone playing a dambuka or the call to prayer in it. You know, it was done in a different kind of more subtle way.
Yeah.
All of our stuff, all of the albums, there are songs where like there's like, if you just see this title that says "Welcome to Veles, Macedonia," that's meaningless. But if you look up what that place is, you'll find that this is the town that allegedly Russia have used to produce internet propaganda. They basically hired lots of people in this one place in a very small former Yugoslavian country to do all of like their internet kind of like trolling, Twitter responses, pro-Russian kind of, and like, what should we call it, Rob? Election kind of manipulation.
Election engineering. Also in this town as well, that it's like a scam center for a lot of internet scams as well, not just like making troll farm.
So like we have on Scorpions and Fountains, which is the next album, we have a song. It's just called Italian Libya Deal, and what we want people to Google that and find out what that means. So we won't talk about it now, but yeah, it's like, go and have a look, go and read about that, and you'll be you'll be entertained and you'll learn something.
You'll be entertained and you'll become a political animal. That's what we want. We want to create lots of political animals who see the world.
Each song has your titles. Each track has the message, social message. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, there's a kind of social political message in each track.
And it's wondering, it's in their eyes sadness at the police control check from them another hurdle. From this track, I felt a little bit free compared to other tracks.
Yeah.
Maybe other tracks are so dark and sometimes scary, sad. But this track and next one is a little bit, but it has a beat, I think.
Yeah, it's more upbeat. I
felt a little bit free from restraint.
Yeah.
Restraint. It's like something. I felt something positive.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm really kind of obsessed with is track order on albums, and so you'll hear that generally we will end the albums with the dancier, like in terms of musically, and so that means you have this kind of obviously there's a really strong argument for ending on a real glow, but yeah, I felt when we had the collection of all the tracks, I thought these two really were very effective at the end of the journey, as it were. I didn't think that it's liberating or anything. I just thought this sound makes sense very musically in terms of just the overall sound, not in any very academic or very smart way. It's just, this makes sense to me, having these types of tracks at the end.
And last one is I loved very much. It's the atmosphere, like Aphex Twin or Autocall.
Oh yeah.
I read something like this.
With some big with some big names.
That's really
that's something like this. I love this track. Yeah.
That to be compared to that is like, that's amazing. Because we're massive like Aphex and Autechre and everything from Warp, everything that Warp does. Like we're by no means really, well, especially me, good at, but I'm always trying to get a kind of texture and I'm trying to replicate a feeling of like this kind of jaded, melancholy feeling.
And we always say when one of our things is like when we send demos to each other, it's like, can we make this sound worse?
Yeah, can we make
this
is way too clean.
This sounds too clean. This is overwritten. You know, it's too structured. It's too it's too musical. Like it sounds too musical. It's not kind of impressionistic or instinctive enough. And this is what I love about the stuff that Rob produces. It's more instinctive, and so that means you get strange and interesting things sometimes happen. And so, for example, like Spice, which is basically Rob wrote by himself. I took out one kick beat. There was too many kicks. I just removed. So instead of it going dun dun dun, it used to went dun 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 or something like that. So it's a very small.
So you have a plan to the next album?
Yeah, we've spoken about it a couple of times.
Yeah,
It seems every year you release the album.
Yeah, it's been. We're on a bit. We are on a bit of a delay. I need to get I've got about 4 sketches of tracks. But because of the Corona situation, I haven't been able to go out and get field recordings or interview people or talk to people. It might be that I will use phone interviews or sounds. It might be that I might sample from a different area. I'm not sure yet.
The only thing I think that we really want to do is just have more people speaking again. Like more.
It's definitely
and just more stories. There's always stories.
The
emotional side of things is really important to me and to us. It's like especially with these, we're dealing with like sad, not sad, I don't want to say sad stories, but stories that are kind of hard a lot of the time. I think the best thing is speak, like WhatsApp messages, voice recorded voice. They're very, very
what we're looking for is that kind of jaded, like a sound quality which is way not perfect at all. It's muffled, and I read lots of reviews, and it's the sound. Burial is the sound of like when you hear music on taxi cabs or the sound of the city, and something also that Andrew Weatherall said is that
Mm.
you're absorbing sounds from everywhere. You're getting sounds through your daily life of moving through a city. So you're kind of trying to make, sometimes you're trying to make a collage. You're trying to make a picture of everything that you absorb through your life, through walking through a city.
Yeah.
And also those city videos that you're making, like when you get a feel for, they're incredible. Those are like, that to me is an amazing work of art. When you're walking around Shibuya,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was nice conversation. I really happy to know each other, and then
Thank you very much.
I
Thank
wanna
you for
Yeah, no.
giving
I
us.
wanna keep in touch, and then
Yeah. Definitely, it's great because like your blog is and your channel is really great. I love like
thank you.
maybe I can learn some Japanese as well, because like the descriptions of the music from and your in-depth research is like, it's really good. I really like it.
Oh, thank you. It
Cool.
was
Thanks.
nice talking.
Well, have a
Thank
good
you.
have a
Yeah.
good day, Rob. Have a good evening, Yoshi. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Oh,
this.
thank
Have a
you.
nice
You
evening.
too. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Yoshi.
Bye.
Bye, Pete.
Bye.
Ciao, guys.
チャンネル登録、そしてグッドボタンをお願いします。